Come on in, Rooster.
All right, fellas.
We're live.
Oh, we're live already.
We're live. Oh, yeah, we are.
Much of a chance.
No.
I'm do my best not to cuss. I've been warned.
You can curse all you want.
On this show?
On this show, it's welcome.
God dang.
Yeah.
Man,
As a matter of fact,
relax.
you can relax.
Shit, fire. Let's go.
Make yourself comfortable. Because I heard you. I watched the first episode of the show, and I could tell that you were trying not to curse.
Yes. Yeah.
And well, sometimes successfully, sometimes not so
like I said, I don't
successfully.
want it to sound like Morse code, you know. Beep, 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 you know.
Right. What are your what curse words do you find it troubling not to use?
There's several of them, but I mean,
It seemed like the shit word.
I'm allowed 2 shits per episode.
Is that right?
I'm really, you know.
Grab that mic so it's a little
I'm really
closer.
polling to be able to use it more.
You are, yeah. Well, that's hopefully the show becomes successful, and you'll be able to make your own rules.
I thought they were going to put it on at like 2 a.m. in the morning in the first place.
Right, but it's a big deal. It's on the show is called West Texas Investors Club, and it premieres tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on CNBC. So, how long have you been an investor for?
For the show?
Or in general? Are you not?
In general?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, Butch and I have been doing this a long time.
Right. This is what you do.
For a long time. I mean, we've known each other close 40 years, and
wow.
We started doing it with this concept. First of all, we didn't start doing it with this concept, and that's when we were losing. So we started, thinking more about the person.
Right.
We're getting in good deals with bad people, and that don't work.
Right.
So we started really working on just good people, and where we didn't have to watch after ourselves so much, and it found out that it was a good formula.
So that's what was happening. Like you were making deals with like super sharky business people, and ending up that whether it was a good business decision or not, you couldn't trust the guys.
Sure.
So they were taking money from
New
you.
York stockbrokers over the phone. You can get with them, and you're lucky if you get a good one.
Right. I've seen the movie Boiler Room. Just watching like grown men cry under the table as their life savings are just being taken from them. But so from a young age, then you were just like in your
I did pretty good.
In your 20s, you started investing.
I went broke.
You did
when I was right around 30 years old and had to start over, and just kind of threw everything. I looked at myself and said, "Man, I was wearing gold. Had a little gold necklace, had a diamond in the rooster's eye, and all that stuff, and I had ostrich skin boots. Houston oil.
You're feeling good.
Oh man, I was a stud. And I looked up one day, I was just busted. Broke. Had to go Chapter 7 and everything. Of course, the banks went out from under us, too, at the time.
How do you go broke if you've got a gold necklace with a diamond in it? Like, shouldn't some of that money?
I think it's easier.
Yeah,
You're a target when you got that.
Right,
So
I see.
Yeah. So I looked back at myself and said, man, I'm going to go back to my roots, and that's when I just gave all the nice stuff to my middle brother and went back to labor. I actually went back to labor.
Well, who's your middle brother?
Patrick
McConaughey, not Matthew. Matthew's doing fine on his own.
Brother. Yeah, he gets enough.
yeah.
Oh, Patrick. Hey, Patrick. Got a boy.
What does Patrick do?
He works in the pipe business with me.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now, the show is basically, I was watching it, it kind of feels like, almost like a Duck Dynasty meets Shark Tank. Like it's kind of like a redneck version.
Yeah, that's,
of Shark Tank. But
those are 2 nice shows to be affiliated with.
Sure, very successful.
Yes, they are.
But the difference is that instead of just you and your partner sitting at a table and having people come in, they pitch you an idea, you say yes or no, and that's it. Like they come in, they give you this idea, you test it out in the field. It's kind of like a whole story. You spend some time with it, which I think is better. Do you think it felt like one of the themes was that you bring in these people, whether they're from New York or whatever city areas, and that people may not take you guys seriously?
Yes.
Because of, the old guy that you have pick people up at the airport.
Gil.
People think he's stupid. Yeah. People, they hear the accent, they hear the storytelling ways.
Yeah,
he's
they
friendly.
come in on a jet, and then they get in the old beat-up pickup. I mean, one of our sayings is like they're going from caviar and blini to sardines and saltines when they get in the truck with him.
Right.
And he actually gets to know them more than anybody.
Uh-huh.
Because it's the condensed. I mean, we're doing this in a short period of time, so we've got to really get to know the guys. And Gil's so sharp that he can figure them out. I mean, he actually is way he plays our Gabby Hayes type character, but I mean he is a pretty sharp guy.
Right, and I think that the benefit is that people who come in assume he's not sharp.
Yeah,
and so they let their guard down.
Oh yeah, he pulls his teeth out and stuff like that.
Yeah, have you been able to catch people that way?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's hard to fool, and we're kind of hard to fool. Not that we aren't going to be fooled, but he gets their guard down. I mean, he breaks the shell of the egg. I mean, all of a sudden, by the time they get there, then they see us, And
Right.
they're like, what's going on?
Right, and they try to figure the whole thing out. Like the first episode, the guy's like, he's got a stand for his sign and all this stuff. And you guys like, what are you doing?
Yeah, get down to business, man. We don't need a
just put the sign on the bullhorns and let's go. Let's talk about this. Sit down. Like, what do you got to show us? And you guys, it seems like you're kind of hitting all services of people who have businesses. Like you're getting into the tech sphere. You're getting into everything. Is there any business that you won't get into?
Gil says we're not going to do whorehouses anymore.
That's done.
Yeah, we're done with those. You know, I mean, or pimping, stuff like that. We're not into drugs.
I mean, yeah,
and,
pimping can. I mean, especially if you can find
if there was some place to bootleg, we'd probably do that or something.
Right.
You know, but I mean, not as far as we're not in the drug scene or nothing.
Anywhere you can make a couple bucks legally.
Yeah, as long as there's a good person involved.
Right. Yeah. If you can find a good person.
Yeah, there's a good person
who's pimping.
Yeah.
Then maybe you dip back into that. Right.
We think about it. He's got to be good to the girls.
Of course. Treat them. Exactly. Make sure they're getting fair pay for a fair
Probably
day.
be better located in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Where you could do it legally, but
you got a little chance over there.
As long as it's honest pay for an honest day's work, I don't see any problem with it.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Now, tell me, I was reading. Did you name your son Miller Lyte?
With a Y.
With a Y, so it's not L-I-G-H-T.
It's L-Y-T-H. It's L-Y-T-E.
L-Y-T-E.
Because
tell me about that decision.
This is my second litter of kids.
Okay.
I got a 40, a 9, and a 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's the 40-year-old's name?
The 40-year-old is Madison Beaumont.
Okay. So that's just a name.
That's a name. It's a name. Then Miller came along, and everyone would tease me going, like, 'cause I like to drink beer, and I always have beer ice down the back of my car.
Do you have a favorite brand?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much stuck with it, But
it's worse than a tattoo.
I mean, I can't. Yeah, that's the way it is. Here we go. That's what I mean. I can't change now.
Right? No, you can't.
Yeah. So I drink it a lot, so I don't, to keep my taste developed.
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course, absolutely.
You got it right there. Yeah. Yeah. Do they sponsor?
They better.
Yeah, they should be paying for everything that kid
does.
does.
They're doing it. Boys, you listen to me out there, because my daughter's middle name is Olympia. I can switch.
Is that right?
Yes.
What's your daughter's first name?
Margarita.
So is that another one of your favorite beverages?
Actually, that's not. And my wife said you can't have anything to do with naming a girl, and her grandmother's name is Margarita. But I said nobody's going to believe it.
Right. I mean, that's just a great coincidence. That's just lucky. That's all that is.
Well, Miller, the reason I named him Miller Lyte, everybody said, hey, you're going to be able to carry that Miller Lyte around with you everywhere once you have another kid, because it's a felony. And I said, man, if things work out, I'll be able to take Miller Lyte to church.
Right.
And it did.
Did your wife say anything about it? Or
Caught
was
her
it
off guard.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, caught her off guard a little bit.
How'd you do that?
Well, man, she's laying there in pain. She didn't give a shit what the name was going to be.
Right, so you're just filling out the birth
got it
certificate.
in there, called the umbilical cord people, got it on record, bam, before she even did it, it was done.
And Miller's 9 now?
He's 9, yeah.
Has he come to you and said, like, Dad, why did you name me after your favorite beer?
He has a classic statement. People go, are you named after Miller? Are you named after a beer? He goes, no, they named the beer after me.
Does he know that mathematically that's not the case?
No, he knows that.
He does. Okay, I would hope so.
Yeah, what else are you going to say? Otherwise, it leads into other stuff like do you drink it and all that good stuff.
Right. He's got to own it, though.
He got to shut him down pretty quick. Yeah, he's got to own it.
He hasn't gotten mad at you yet?
He loves it.
He loves it?
He loves it.
All right. You think at some point he will be like, Dad?
Be too late, man. I'm kind of old by the time, I think.
It doesn't mean.
Yeah, that don't make a difference. I mean, he'll be fine.
Right. He'll make it work.
Oh, yeah. Man, you got to teach these kids disappointment. I hope people do work on him. Otherwise, he's just going to be hard to make in life. Disappointment is very important for children.
Well, I know. I heard the boy.
Tell him you're going to take them to Disney World and then haul them to McDonald's and say, this is it. Sorry.
And this is what life, not only is this what you're getting today, this is the way life's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you went broke. You know what it's like to be disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, you ain't kidding.
Yeah. How did your family react to when, because it seems like you guys are kind of a down-to-earth family. Like, you're yourself. How did your family react to when your brother, Matthew, started acting?
We liked it.
You did?
We're a family of show-offs. I mean, we were tickled to death, and we loved it. I mean, he got the looks and the brains.
And he used them.
You better believe it. He did, and he's done well.
Yeah, he's done extremely well.
Done good.
I've read. Did you watch his movies?
Sure.
Did you see?
He's my favorite actor, by the way.
He is. Yeah. He's great.
Yeah. The last time I saw him, he was in a pit with a bunch of cobras in Thailand, and I ain't heard from him since.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
He's kind of are you all like, I've heard he's a little nuts in terms of just living life. Like, he'll just try things. Are you all? Is that a McConaughey thing?
Pretty much.
It is.
Pretty much.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
Probably what we're doing now. Yeah, this could be the most disruptive, crazy thing I've ever done.
You think so?
Yeah, it might be.
What does Matt think of you entering show business now? You getting on the TV?
Have fun.
He's saying it's a blast. Just get on there and do it.
Be yourself.
So, did you see Wolf of Wall Street? Did you see him in that movie? You see when he's pounding the chest?
Yeah.
I've read that that's something that he did, and that's just something he does in the director. And Scorsese saw him and said, "Put this in the movie." Yeah. Is that something that he does?
That's true. Right before the scene, he does that.
Is that something? Do you do anything like that?
I scratch and stuff like that.
That's it.
Yeah.
So do you?
I like radio shows. I can get away with a lot of stuff.
Right. Of course. Do you look at him and go like, "Bro, where'd you learn that from? Like, what are you doing?"
No, man. He does his own deal, man. That guy's magnificent. He got his own, character.
He is, man. So you're proud of him, and he's proud of you, and it's all good. How good are you in terms of trusting people? Because that is a big theme of the show, and the show again is called West Texas Investors Club, and it's almost like you do figure out the business end of it, and you figure out how whether this makes sense as a business. But at the end of the day, you say and you bring him to a bar, and he says, and everybody says, I don't know about this business, but you're a good guy, so we'll give it a shot. Yeah. Like. Have you trusted a guy that you shouldn't have trusted based on that?
Absolutely, and probably will do it again.
You think so?
Oh, well, we're not psychiatrists.
Right.
And they make mistakes all the time, too. In fact, I think the marriage rate on them is even higher than lawyers, for all I know.
Right.
But, it is, with us, it is about trusting the guy, and we do. And I'm a little looser than Butch is. Mm-hmm. We work team and team. Butch is a little tight. He's a little tighter than I am. I'll throw. We have a saying: one out of five, the one will bail out the bad four. And he goes, "Why do we have to have four bad ones?"
Right.
Which he's correct. But we compliment each other.
It seems like you're a nice guy, though. It seems like you would want to say, like, do you go into a meeting wanting to say yes to people?
Yes.
That's not a great place as a negotiator. No, that's not in terms of an investor. That's not a safe bet.
I give them the benefit of the doubt a little bit.
Right, which is probably not great most of the time.
Yeah, but they usually, you work them, you hit them with the right stuff, and it comes out.
Based on this conversation we've been having so far, if I came to you with a business idea, do you think you go with it or not go with it?
But if it was in radio, you damn right I would.
You would. You trust me.
You better believe it.
You think I know what I'm doing here?
You better believe it. If it was in radio, I'd do it.
Well, I think you know it. Well, why don't you put some money in this show then?
Well, we'll talk about it.
Let's do it. Yeah, I'll give you what I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
Let's find out what the deal is.
Right. Put some money into this show, and then.
So far, I like it.
You do. Well, the guests are good, right?
You bet. Hey, that's one thing. You do have some good guests on today.
Right. Yeah. What is the weirdest thing that you've come across on the show that we'll see?
Let's see, man. There's some ones that are tough. I probably one of the wasn't that it was weird. There was one that, like I said, the guy would have had to been the second coming of Christ because the damn thing needed a miracle to work.
Right.
And then he was a good guy, but his idea was just, that's what he was, a good guy.
Right, but that's it. He wasn't a businessman. He wasn't a smart guy.
It's not. Yeah, that was one of those ones that's like, man, it don't make any difference how good of a guy you are.
Right.
We just can't do this.
Right. Nobody wants what you're selling.
No, nobody. So
and you got to sit there and say, like, I would assume this guy who's a good guy who's put everything into it. He's put all his money. He's like, this is the idea. And you got to be like.
No, actually, he didn't put nothing.
He didn't.
I think he thought of it on his way out there.
Yeah, I heard you guys are doing
when
a TV
he walked
show.
in the door.
Right.
I got this idea. It's like, well, tell us about it. Well, give me a second.
Let me figure out all the kinks before I fully.
Didn't have too much.
Didn't pan out fully.
Didn't have any money or thought into the deal.
Do you like doing TV? Do you like doing a TV show and being a part of something that people are going to have opinions on and people are going to be writing, articles about and critics and all that stuff? Because once you open yourself up to a TV show like that, from your brother that you open yourself up to the whole world getting to have an opinion about Rooster.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yeah.
And, so far it's been fine. I really don't mind being criticized.
You don't?
No, I kind of like it.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just kind of fun. Stuff people say. They're sitting in their underwear, buck naked, playing with themselves on a doggone blogging deal all night long. Who cares what they say?
Right.
And these guys got nothing to do, man. It's like, let's see what they got to say. It's kind of, if you're going to get offended by what those people say,
right,
then, man, you already got problems.
Right. Are you on Twitter?
Just started.
You did?
Yeah.
Are you actually on it, or is somebody doing it for you?
I'm on it.
You are.
Little yogi. I'm working it. You know, it's slow.
What's your Twitter? Do you know what the name is?
Twitter. Rooster Twitter.
Just Twitter. Just look you up and you'll
Just
find.
hand it to me and I answer them.
And you'll do it. Do we know what it is? You could just Rooster. WTIC. Oh, for West Texas Investors Club.
That's it.
All right, so your Twitter address.
Well, I just seen if you knew, by God.
I did. I found out. Rooster WTIC. And then do you read the replies?
The good ones.
The good ones. The bad ones you skip over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not somebody reads it for me and just tells me the good ones.
Yeah. Well, man, I think the show's gonna be very successful.
Well, thank you.
I think-
mean, it's
Do you have a good feel? Have you watched the first episode?
I've watched it,
What'd you think?
and I think they might have done some more stuff to it. But I mean, I thought it was. I mean, actually, one I've seen two, and one that I saw, I couldn't quit laughing.
Good.
I mean, I don't laugh that hard, but I had tears in my eyes. I mean, I think it's going to be entertaining. I hope we send a message to some people that do things the old-fashioned way. What
Right.
we're trying to show is that there is an old-fashioned way to do stuff instead of just thinking you don't have to be a billionaire. There's enough money to go around for everybody to do well,
Right.
and that's what we're looking at. It's not all about the money. It's about doing things.
How much money do you have to throw around? Because you were. I mean,
well, since oil went down to $50 a barrel, we don't have quite as much as we
you
did.
don't. Because that's.
But it'll go back up.
The whole basis of the show is people coming in and getting money from you and your partner.
Right.
So you guys must be doing very, very, very well.
Well, I mean, the first one of them we already bought. I mean, it's already sold,
Right.
and another one's is doing 5 times what it already did. So this is pretty good stuff.
Really.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize we was going to do this good right off. I can tell you that.
So, I mean, this is one of the rare shows where you're going to have to make enough money off this season just to get a season 2, just so you can afford a season
it helps.
2.
I mean, I don't want you got to get in. I mean, the kids already signed over the trust. So if I need that, I can get into it.
Right, you're good. You're good on that end. Well, listen.
Yeah, I'll put Miller help me make decisions since we'll be using this money if it goes on too long.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
would hope that Miller would help you make the decision. Although he wasn't around to help you make the decision to name him Miller Lyte.
Yes,
So,
but he likes it so far.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. Well, listen. I think it's great that you are following your passions. You don't listen to what everybody else has to say. You know what I mean? You do your thing. And that's what's important. That's what's important about the show.
That's what we were doing before we got on the show, so it's pretty easy.
Who did you pitch the show, or did somebody come to you?
We knew Charlie, Jason Henry knew us, and then Charlie got to know us, and they and we explained to them, they kind of knew how we did stuff, and then they came visit us, and we looked and saw the way we did stuff. So we've got a show about how we were doing it, before they got there.
And did they say, like, Jesus, how much talent can be in this goddamn McConaughey family?
It's a different kind of talent.
Is it a different kind of talent?
It's a little deal, yeah.
I'm going to tell you about an idea I had at the top of the show that I need an investor for.
All right.
I just realized that you may be the perfect guy to do this. You know who Ronda Rousey is?
The wrestler.
The UFC fighter. Right. She's the biggest thing in MMA right now.
Right.
She's beating everybody in 30 seconds.
She won the other night,
She
right?
won on Saturday.
Okay, yeah.
34 seconds it took her.
Oh, God. Dang.
You know Floyd Mayweather, the boxer.
Right.
So Floyd Mayweather and Ronda Rousey, they've been saying little things about each other. Ronda wants to fight Floyd.
Because he said about women something.
And he's gone on. He's hit women before. He's had charges for domestic violence.
His dad did too.
Right. So, what I want to do is I want to get them together and I want to promote that fight. I want to get Ronda Rousey and Floyd Mayweather together. And we were talking about it with the listeners and trying to figure out if it was going to be a boxing match or an MMA fight or what it was going to be. I say we rent out a Chili's because Chili's is great. I love Chili's. We rent out a Chili's.
You're talking about Chili's, the restaurant.
The
right?
restaurant, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
They got them where you're from, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're everywhere.
Hey man, we got porta toilets, all kinds of stuff where I'm from. We got lots of things.
You got a big Chili's near you?
Big, yeah, pretty nice. Not big enough for them probably, but parking lot's pretty big.
Okay, so maybe we'll do it in the parking lot. Either way, we rent out the Chili's. We get some people down there. We get some TV cameras. We put the thing on pay-per-view, but we just have them fight. No rules, no referee.
No enclosure, no nothing.
Nothing.
Just let them strumming all over the place.
Yeah, they'll be fucking throwing baby back ribs at each other.
And all that. Yeah, and then you got
just
whatever.
chucking boneless buffalo wings at each other all night long. I think it could be a huge success. Is that something you'd be willing to invest
salads, in? Come to think of, they got good salads.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what
back
that's
to the deal. Oh, God, it's a great idea. I mean, it's a great idea.
You want to invest in it?
Well, I think we need to introduce you to Gil first.
Okay, all right.
Would you mind taking a ride with Gil just to be sure you're sincere? I mean, it helps when we break.
I will. I'll ride with Gil.
You ride around with Gil for about 2 hours, and he'll come and he'll close the deal.
Okay, good. All right. So, but we're halfway there.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, we're giving you the opportunity, by God. I'm going to tell you that.
That's all I need is an opportunity. That's all anybody needs in this life is opportunity. All right, good. Everybody watch the show because, again, this is going to be the beginning. You're going to see a lot of Rooster. He's going to be co-promoting this fight with me. But in the meantime, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CNBC. It's the premiere of West Texas Investors Club. And like I said, it's like Shark Tank. There's some Duck Dynasty in there. There's some America in there. There's everything. It's
West Texas stuff in there.
West Texas stuff.
Yeah, West Texas people in there.
Yeah, and they do a good job of like bringing. I can tell it's your people. Like you got to go to a bar, so you go to a bar in Odessa, Texas, and say like, no, we're staying here. We're not. Well, all the people that you normally go to.
It's places we used to go and things we used to do that with other people.
Right.
Anyways,
and by the way, that bar that you go to, the bartender or the guy who owns the bar,
right?
That's a smart guy. You know why? All he hires is hot chicks.
He did.
That's it. And that's the way you run any business.
Some of them got pink hair and
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Check out the show. It's on tomorrow night. And Rooster McConaughey, thanks for hanging out, man.
Thank you for having me.